of our area's largest grocery store chains has just announced it's getting larger. This morning, Kroger's Nashville division rolled out a plan to buy 3 Harris Teeter stores here. Harris Teeter has locations in Hillsborough Village, West Haven Town Center in Franklin, and in Pear Tree Village in Brentwood. Those stores will get a facelift and new branding and all eventually reopen as new Kroger stores soon. The more than 330 employees who work at Harris Teeter are being encouraged to apply for work at area Kroger groceries. Jury deliberations are underway in the federal death penalty trial of accused Boston Marathon bomber Dzhokhar Tsarnaev. Chris Van Cleve has more from Boston.
Jurors are deciding whether Dzhokhar Tsarnaev is guilty for the 2013 bombings at the Boston Marathon and the violence that followed. On Monday, prosecutors finished closing arguments telling the jury of 5 men and 7 women that Tsarnaev and his older brother Tamerlan's attack was a cold, calculated terrorist act that was intentional and bloodthirsty and was to make a point to tell America that we will not be terrorized by you anymore. We will terrorize you. Tsarnaev's attorney Judy Clark continued with the theme Dzhokhar participated, but Tamerlan was the driving force, the one who planned the attacks, bought the materials, and made the bombs. If Tsarnaev is found guilty, the jurors will hear a second round of testimony before deciding on a sentence. 17 of the 30 counts against Tsarnaev could carry the death penalty. U.S. District Court Judge George O'Toole told jurors the judgment is entirely yours after they watched a graphic video montage of the bombings and heard closing arguments. He cautioned them to not allow their emotions to affect their decision as they pore over 16 days of graphic evidence and witness testimony. Before they were seated, each juror said they would consider the death penalty if the trial goes to the penalty phase. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Boston.
On a lighter note, some people have criticized First Lady Michelle Obama for her sassy dance moves in the past, but that's not slowing her down. The President and the First Lady hosted the annual White House Easter egg roll, and the theme was Gimme 5, in line with her Let's Move initiative, motivating kids to get off the couch, sign off the computer, and get excited about exercise. The First Lady's routine with some D.C. area dancers was clearly a big hit. And finally, some good advice from an old woman, and I mean that with the utmost of respect because she would agree. 115-year-old Geraldine Talley in the Detroit area is now the world's oldest living person. A woman in Arkansas who had been ahead of her in the record books died yesterday at the age of 116. Miss Geraldine was born way back in 1899. She credits the good Lord above for her long life and says, quote, "Treat the other fellow like you want to be treated. You don't tell a lie on me, so I won't tell a lie on you."